What's up everybody, how's it going? Well, if you saw my video on how to test toggle switches and replace toggle switches on my school bus, then you were under the impression that I was going to get a light bar. Well, I did. And I figured I'd save the unboxing for you guys. You know, people like to see that every once in a while. They like to see how things come when they buy them from the store or they order them online. I personally went to an auto parts store because I found this light bar cheaper at an auto parts store than I was able to find anywhere else online or at any other auto parts store. So I went ahead and bought it. Honestly, I can't wait to get into this thing. So I went ahead and I picked up the Sylvania 20-inch bar. Now, this thing is pretty cool. I mean, it's got the 48 OSRAM LEDs in it, which is cool, or OSRAM, however you guys want to say that. Looks like it's got super far spotlight capabilities and super wide flood capabilities. So I'm guessing that's probably the difference that it shows on the box in the type of reflectant that they put in the LED core as far as the cone goes. And then on top of that, ultra nighttime visibility. Now, I've used these before on snow removal equipment in the middle of the night during the winter and stuff like that, and I know they're bright, but I don't know if it was this exact brand. But we're gonna find out once I get it all wired in. Also, some of the other things that are on this, you can see right here on the back, it looks like it's got raw lumens at 9,120. Looks like it's got effective lumens at 41,000, which is kind of cool. The color temperature is a 6,000 K, so these things can get pretty hot before you have any issues with them, which is kind of cool. Looks like the beam angle is a combo spotlight and floodlight, so I'm guessing the outer ones are floods, which is why they have the taper to the cone, or step notch, however you want to refer to it. And then the spotlight is obviously the center. The current draw is 4.6 amps at 12 volt DC, so that's perfect because I've already got my wiring hooked up to a circuit breaker that's a little higher on the amp. I believe it's like 8 or 10 amps or something like that, so that's kind of awesome. I might have to put a new circuit breaker in, but who knows? Probably not, considering my circuit breaker is actually sized bigger than the light requirements, so I shouldn't have any problems. The input voltage is 9 to 30 volts DC, which is kind of cool. Looks like the input wiring is open wire. The ambient operational temperature is -40 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cool. That works well for us up here in Montana because we do get those really cold winters. And yes, it can be -40 up here. As a matter of fact, there are some areas of the state where it's even colder than that. It's water resistant, IP67, which is pretty cool. So it does show what the mounting looks like on the side right here of the box, but let's go ahead and get into this. I did notice that they didn't tape over these, so that's actually kind of convenient. I don't have to get a knife and cut it open or nothing like that. But what I also noticed is that they put 3 of the locking tabs. They must really not want this thing to come out. Honestly, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want something to fall out of the box either, because if it did, you wouldn't buy it, right? I mean, what's the point of getting a broken product? So this is actually really easy. A lot of the times these tabs get a little annoying, but you know how it is. So, oh, one more thing. They do kind of give you an idea of the distance and width spectrum of this light and its illumination power by that little diagram right there. Yeah, they packed this thing really nice. This is actually pretty cool. It's got this foam on it. And that's awesome because this foam is actually sleeved all the way around the light. It's got its end caps right here, and like I said, these are sleeved all the way around. So we're just going to go ahead and slide those up, pull it out of the way. I might save some of that for my fly tying, but I can see what they're talking about. If you notice on the inside of this light, this is your spotlight lens right here. and then your floodlight lens is right there, and the cones actually have a little bit of a step taper to them, which is pretty cool. It also looks like they're using probably 16 or 14 gauge stranded wire, and they give you a lead that's roughly, I don't know, probably anywhere from 14 to 18 inches long. So that's actually pretty cool. We'll have to get some connectors on that and heat shrink it. What does this say on the wiring? It's a 300 to 500 volt sheath. So that's kind of cool. The voltage rating of the sheath is higher than the rating of the wire, actually. And what is that? 2 times 0.75 millimeter 2. Alrighty then. For anybody who knows what stuff like that means in electrical, you get the idea. If not, I'll probably explain it in another video, or maybe not at all. It just depends. You guys got to let me know in the comments, okay? But I honestly think this thing is really cool. It's got aluminum casing. The front lens is actually plastic for the protection, which is awesome. The casing is aluminum all the way around. I noticed everything's an Allen key with a lock washer. That's cool. I don't have to worry about anything vibrating loose. So let's see what the mounting hardware looks like, shall we? They put it in a separate box, which is always smart. It's not always good to have stuff like this loose banging around. They gave you your bag of hardware. Now the bag of hardware, I do notice, is all Allen wrenches. And it looks like it's got washers, lock washers, and even a couple of rubber grommets in it. So the rubber grommets are either for the frame mounting or the mounts to the side of the light. I guess I'll find out when I dig into the installation guide. I do really like the mounting brackets though, because they look like they're pretty sturdy steel. They're actually pretty thick. That's quality right there. And it looks like they give you a couple of pivot point options on this light, so that you can go ahead and set it all up and then pivot that however you want. Now the mounting screws for the light are right there on the side, so that's pretty awesome. I did notice in the hardware kit, this is apparently something that you're going to have to drill holes for, because even the primary mounting bolt right there in the bag has a lock washer and a nut so that you can lock it onto the back. So that's actually pretty cool. You just don't pop like a self-tapping screw in or nothing like that and call it good. So they're pretty durable. It's an off-road product, so you would expect it to be a little bit beefy when it comes to the mounting processes so that it doesn't rattle loose. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find the installation guide here. Yep, there it is. It's in the bottom of the box. Now, honestly, I thought this was going to be in the hardware box, but at least it's in the box in general. So this is actually pretty decent. It's not too thick or nothing like that. Looks like it's got 3 pages of information. It does show all your mounting hardware on the back, just like that. And it kind of gives you an idea of what your dimensions are for the light. So if you got a tight space you need to fit it in, at least they tell you that. Oh, that's nice. You know, being a Jeep owner, this is actually kind of funny. Unfortunately, I don't have the Jeep that's pictured in here. This is actually a new Jeep, but that's what the inside of it looks like. So they do give you some detailed instructions on how to mount this, plus dimensions and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out where I'm going to put this thing, because out here in Montana where I live, we have a lot of animals that run around, and honestly, you can have deer, elk, moose, bear, whatever, at any given moment in some of the areas that I go, bolt out in front of your vehicle, and there's a potential to hit them. So I got to find a spot where I'm not going to have to worry about taking that light out if an animal accidentally or intentionally runs across the road in front of me when I'm driving at night. Other than that, I guess I'll be able to see, because my standard headlights on my school bus are kind of like And then on top of that, I've got a high beam warning for people that are driving the opposite direction with those new super bright LEDs in their cars that just don't like to turn their high beams off and blind you the whole way. You know what I mean? So anyway, you guys take care. I'm going to get this all taken care of. Do me a favor, if you liked anything on this particular unboxing video, leave a like on it. Drop a comment down below if there's anything else you want to know or anything else you want to see, or if you feel there's anything that I missed, okay? Because both of those let me know what you're interested in and what I should keep doing. Other than that, if you got any interest in any other content that I do, because I do everything, not just one topic, hit that subscribe button, all right? And don't forget your notification bell. And one of the other things that I always like people to do is share it with a friend, all right? Because you never know who needs some information. I'll see you guys later. Take care.